Hey, everybody, and welcome to our latest Innovation Insights podcast. We're here today with Ben Rohn, who's with NeuroVance, and he's got some exciting technology that he's working on. He's an entrepreneur who comes from a kind of a different background from most entrepreneurs. I think you'll enjoy it. And Ben, welcome.
Thanks, Jay. It's a pleasure to be on today. Really appreciate coming on and being able to talk a little bit about what we do and our journey to get here.
Yeah. And what we usually start off with is a quick 30-second to 1-minute intro to give us an idea of who you are and what NeuroVance is and how you're going to change the world.
Absolutely. I have a very normal background. I was born in the U.S., grew up overseas, lived in 9 different countries before I joined the Marine Corps coming out of college, where I studied Chinese. Once again, very, very normal background. And so I served active duty and reserves as a Marine Corps officer for 25 years. And we recently started NeuroVance Deep TMS, came to this when left a previous career, discovered this as a way to heal some PTSD that I've been dealing with from active duty service from a previous company that was doing something called Deep TMS, and did some research, worked with them. I was amazed by the treatment, how effective it was, and that it could very, very quickly, almost permanently resolve the symptoms that people experience from both depression and PTSD. And so our mission now is to really get that technology out there to as many people as possible and try to help heal so many people in need as quickly as we can.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot for that. So you do come from a kind of a different background. I mean, being in the military is kind of a regimented mindset in some ways, although, adapt, overcome is definitely part of the lexicon there. So there is that adaptability, the ability to pivot. Obviously, you're used to working under stress, but how do you find the move from that kind of life into the life of an entrepreneur?
It's interesting because the military, you have 2 different types of veterans. Those that did the military for a short period of time, then stepped away for whatever reason, and then those in a career military. And they both are very comfortable stepping outside their comfort zone and being forced to master something that's completely foreign to them. But I have found that veterans that do step away after a few years, even if they continue in reserves, tend to be more entrepreneurial, tend to be very entrepreneurial, in fact, in that they always want a new challenge. They are change agents. They look at something and think, how can I leave this better than when I found it? And so I was active duty for 6 years, the rest was reserves, and in that time, combat veteran, what have you. But it did give me a taste for how can I continue improving the world? And just whatever environment it was around me, a lot of it was as a young platoon commander, a young company commander. I was always fascinated by mentoring young Marines and sailors and trying to set them up for success. And this is something similar where it is a venture, if you will, where this is mental health to really set people up for success. So there's a lot of skills that do transfer over. The impetus, the bias for action, the desire to continue soliciting active feedback. How can I do better? Really empowering your team. So just basically, that's another thing the military is very good at is I trust you to do this. What tools do you need to succeed? Let me know when it's done. And if you need anything, I'm going to provide it for you. So we're very good at delegating and supporting and not taking credit for someone else's actions. And even if when our team is successful, it's because of them. When it's a failure, it's on the leader. This was my failure. This wasn't yours, but the success was your success, not my success. It's acting as a servant leader and never asking someone to do something that you wouldn't be prepared to do on your own. So there's many values that do translate over into entrepreneurship, especially when you're trying to develop a venture, develop a business that is designed to really heal people. It kind of taps into that native altruistic spirit that led you to join the military in the first place, which is trying to help and protect others.
Got it. And obviously that just drew you right into the whole TMS and the ability to really impact lives. So tell us a little bit about the technology, and then I've got kind of a follow-on question for you because I've been following this whole. I've met, living in Southern California, we have Camp Pendleton, right over the hill, and I've met lots of veterans who are trying to get to the root and get get to the cure or do something about the PTSD that is rampant. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people still losing their lives over this. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
So the technology is based on something called TMS, or Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation, which is a very intense sounding acronym for just basically a magnetic coil that rests on the outside of your head. It's not electricity. It's not painful. It's designed to be, it is a passive treatment that is designed to be extremely tolerable. So even children have had a lot of success using it. What we use is the most advanced version of TMS called Deep TMS. It is the difference between an iPhone 3GS and an iPhone 17. They do the same thing, but one is much more effective. And the new technology, Deep TMS, means the stimulation goes much more deeply into, in this case, the medial cortex, which is emotion regulation for the brain. And because the stimulation is much deeper, the success rate for complete remission of the symptoms is much, much higher than previously. It goes from 35% to, in our previous clinic, we saw success rates of 85% for complete
Wow.
remission.
Wow.
And we also use the most accelerated. Yeah, it's actually just mind blowing how quick you see the change in a patient. And I'll follow up on that in a second. And we use the most advanced treatment protocol, which is basically an accelerated protocol, in that the treatments, instead of being 20 minutes, are 3 minutes long. And so it makes it very, very easy for anyone to do the treatment. They don't have to just sit there and just stay motionless for 20 minutes. It's very, very straightforward. We've had success treating 10-year-olds. If a 10-year-old boy with severe ADHD could do the treatment, basically anybody can. And night and day difference for him after he finished it. But I have seen severely depressed people where after the first day of treatment, they're already feeling different. And by the second day of treatment, after the second day of treatment, they're coming into the clinic that third morning leading with a smile. These were severely depressed people, regardless of age. And so it is astonishing how quick it is and how effective it is. And that's the exciting part. It really, it's people use the term game changer a lot, but in this case, it really does feel that way.
You're giving me goosebumps here. So I'm thinking about traditional, or actually they're not traditional, but they're alternative approaches using like micro dicing of psilocybin or different medicinal herbs. And, you and I have talked about this a little bit, but to me, that's like you're going after the symptom and not the cause. Or can you kind of dive into that? Because that's,
Yeah.
kind of a parallel area almost.
Yeah, absolutely. So Americans love the idea of microdosing. Americans are very comfortable with taking a pill. We've really been conditioned for it for a couple of generations now. And you're absolutely right. It treats the symptom, not the cause. The biggest celebrated one right now is ketamine. And it is ketamine, no matter how they really pitch it, it is dangerous. It is a very powerful, narcotic. It was originally used as anesthesia for brain surgery. And it is, after a period of time of building ketamine up in the system, it does reduce the symptoms, and it can't control the symptoms. But as soon as you stop taking it, they come all the way back. On top of that, adolescents can't take it. Individuals with addictive personality cannot take it. And and you never know who, the chances are low, but people will have some of them will have a very bad trip from ketamine or psilocybin or was ecstasy, and all these things that are pitched as the next, great thing, or ibogaine or ayahuasca, and you never know who that person is going to be until it hits. So even ketamine, when it's done properly and their brain chemistry receives it extremely well, the success rate for remission of symptoms is about 60%. So you're taking all these risks. It's never covered by insurance, so it starts to get expensive very quickly. You're taking a lot of risk for 60% efficacy, whereas what we discovered with ours was we were able to get 85%. And instead of having to wait a few weeks for it to build up in your system, it was by day one, you were already noticing that positive result. Ketamine, unfortunately, seems to be, just like psilocybin and everything, seems to be pitched more as a money-making venture for practitioners it's just easy to scale. Because you just need to see someone real quickly, and then you just give them that prescription. And I hate to make this comparison, but it does feel like Oxycontin in the late 80s, early 90s, where it's not, don't worry about it, it's not addictive. It's good for the patients, and how it's kind of pitched.
Oops.
And so it feels a little bit dirty. And it does feel like we're repeating history with it, unfortunately.
Once again, it's just another crutch. And what we're trying to do is eliminate the core problem that's happening. And I think that can only really happen by changing the wiring,
Yes.
in the brain. And
Hmm.
that's what you guys are doing from what I understand.
It
So
is. It is. Yeah.
you're talking about some wonderful stories, which is all, episodal. What about actual empirical studies? Are you going to be doing any of those? Have some already been
So
done?
there's many studies out. People ask for those references, and I can always supply them. And if you ever need help falling asleep, absolutely read through them. It's hundreds and hundreds of pages that I have available, but there's tens of thousands of pages of studies out there because they've been doing. So TMS came out, I believe, in about 2007. Deep TMS was a few years ago. And so you have all the FDA studies, all the various, empirical studies in the clinics that around the country. It is extremely safe, which is deeply reassuring. For deep TMS, the most profound side effect they found in any study and that we've observed at our previous clinic was a mild headache towards the beginning of the course of treatments. And that would be later in the day, 2 Tylenol and it'd be gone. And as the course of treatments proceeded, your brain very quickly gets used to it. And those headaches, if you do get one, they don't recur anymore because the brain is getting exercise. It's effectively a muscle. And so if you're going back to the gym for the first time in a while, it will get sore. But that's the wonderful thing. And treating thousands and thousands of patients in all these studies, that was the only side effect that they found. And so they've seen in the trials, they found 79% of patients went into complete remission. The other 21% experienced significant remission for their depression and PTSD symptoms. But in our clinic, 85%. And it may be because we're a little bit more high touch when it comes to our treatment. Our technician is just absolutely wonderful, great bedside manner. And so it may be because our clinic is designed to be intimate, is designed to feel that you're being deeply cared for. It's the difference between, say, a Toyota dealership and a Lexus dealership. And it's not set up like in a dentist's office or anything. You have private treatment room, private relaxation room where you can just spend some time in between treatments. And it really does kind of get you in that mindset of I'm being really properly catered to. They really hear my needs. I trust them. It really builds that sense of rapport. And one of the problems we had with our previous clinic is patients started coming in early and just hanging out. And remember, this is mental health. And yet they just wanted to hang out and shoot the breeze and this whole thing. And they'd be recording videos for social media from the clinic. And it was just the opposite problem of what you'd anticipate. But it was
Not
an
what you would
endorsement that you're
expect
doing the right thing.
from
No,
depressed people.
no. And they would actually, one of the wonderful things is they would be bragging to their friends, to their family, to their coworkers about their mental health treatment. I had one patient who was on a Zoom call with his team and told them, hey guys, I'll be back in 3 minutes. I've got another treatment scheduled. Left the Zoom call while the team was talking amongst themselves, hopped in a chair, did a 3-minute treatment, then came right back and said, okay, what did I miss? And they're deeply, deeply proud of the treatment. It really reinforces that this model is working and that they're so excited to be getting this. We had 100% treatment completion rate for mental health. And one of our fears when we started is, well, we're going to have to call patients to really remind them to come in. No, it is. They would feel different after the first day. They were just, no, I'm here. Let's get this going. Mm-hmm.
If you find something that works, you really want to do it. That's, and the fact that it's so quick is amazing because if it took a couple weeks, then I think you would see your drop off because they go, oh, I've been there for a week. It hasn't done anything. But if you walk out the first day going, I feel a little different. By the second day, you're going, I feel better. And by the third day, you're on top of the world. That's powerful stuff. Do you have any intellectual property around this, or what?
We don't.
What is
So the
your
fascinating
scaling approach?
So It is. So for us, what we have found works exceptionally well is we don't offer therapy. And we don't offer therapy because that allows us to partner without any conflicts of interest with therapy practices. So they refer their insured patients to us or what have you. So it's no cost to the patient. And like, why not? Let's go ahead and try this. And we then take the patient, we treat them, and then we return a happy patient with their incredibly enhanced neuroplasticity from this magnetic stimulation, meaning they are far more receptive to positive suggestion from therapy. It's far easier to create good habits than to break bad habits. And so then they sit down with the therapist at their old practice, and the therapist is like, well, this is why I got into this line of work. This is someone who wants the therapy, who wants the feedback, and is doing the work and growing. And so it also helps the therapist's mental health, because a lot of therapists really do get burned out. And so our secret sauce is we stay in one swim lane. And as an interventional mental health, we're the trainer at the gym. Therapy is a nutrition plan to keep it just permanent. And so it makes it very easy for us to generate a wonderful patient pipeline and just create that sense of trust and create that network effect. And so it means that we can quickly double the size of the clinic and then build another clinic, say in Orange County, another clinic in Los Angeles, because we discovered in San Diego County, 3 million people, we were the only clinic in the entire county that did Deep TMS, the accelerated protocol, that doesn't do therapy, which means when we talk to a practice, it's very easy for them. It's like, absolutely, we would love to work with you because we will make their life better. It doesn't cost our patients anything. Now they have happy patients that are posting online that XYZ therapy was wonderful and I feel amazing and I would love to give a referral and a reference and what have you. And so it's one of those rising tides lifts all boats type thing. And I get asked this question all the time. What is your moat? Our moat is, well, we don't do therapy, but our treatment is open source. Anyone can use it. But the supply, in San Diego County alone, there's 600,000 people that could benefit from our treatment. Our clinic at full capacity could treat 600 a year. So the only thing that would happen with more clinics is more information gets out about Deep TMS. So it's actually a good thing for us to have competition come in.
Nice. Well, ever since you've exposed me to this technology, I've been a big fan, and I'm trying to help promote this, obviously, through this and other manner of things. What can this community that's watching this or listening to this podcast, what can they do to help Ben and NeuroVance advance and help more people and save more lives?
Well, for us, I mean, there's two different things. One for us and another one just for sort of larger society as a whole. For us, right now, we're in the fundraising stage to really raise a pot of funds to get the clinic to open our new clinic and to really give it that great runway and, just to outfit it in the perfect way. We've perfected our operational model, which is huge. It's just we want to so we know exactly what works and we know exactly how the clinic needs to be and needs to be set up. And so that's our big thing is just talking to interested investors because we've eliminated a lot of the risks. We were very, very successful. The previous clinic we helped develop operation, it worked wonderfully. Unfortunately, the leadership of the previous clinic was trying to do too much at one time, got out over their skis and just could not keep sustaining. They were basically trying to build a national company using the cash flow from one clinic. So it was never going to work. And what we are doing is we're starting iteratively with just one clinic, expanding that clinic, and then we can start developing more clinics throughout the region because there, unfortunately, is a large supply. And there's a large supply of people that just, demand, if you will. So many people need treatment for depression, PTSD, anxiety, anxious depression, OCD, ADHD, and even mental optimization. I discovered that after I finished the treatment, my focus was hugely improved. My cognition, same, hugely improved. My sleep quality was 100% of our patients have noted that their sleep quality skyrockets. I've had patients, I had one patient who hadn't slept well in 20 years. After her first day of treatment, he told me he slept through the night. It's very, just really deep sleep that people start getting. And I also noticed that as an athlete, my athletic performance really improved. So it's something for a lot of executives to really help optimize their brain while they're working on optimizing everything else. And so we are looking for people that are interested in investing in something that is well run. It's led by veterans. We are also setting aside 2 full free courses of treatment for veterans in need every month. So if a veteran comes to us with suicidal ideations, with PTSD, with severe depression, and insurance doesn't cover it for some reason, we're just like, you know what? Don't care. Just come on in. And so we've, at our old clinic, we saved 4 lives. We were told that by each patient individually. They just came to us one day like, look, if it wasn't for this, I don't think I'd be here. And the patients, those 4 patients are night and day different now. They are thriving, absolutely thriving. 2 of them were severely suicidal, and now they are just thriving. Whereas everything else, and one of them told me they used every resource available to them and nothing was working. And they were really very much on the edge. And now they are just absolutely wonderful. But the other thing that, even if you're not in California or if you don't have, money to invest or what have you, I do also want to spread the word that Deep TMS is incredibly effective. And if you have a family member in need, if you're struggling, if you have depression, if you have PTSD, and you could be in, say, Vermont, look up Deep TMS and research that practice and make sure they offer the Accelerate protocol, because some practice, maybe in New York City, will offer it, but it's life-changing. It will change your life or your loved one's life. It will make it permanently better, and it may save a life too. We've seen incredible results. And so whether it's in, working with us or just working on yourself or just getting the word out to someone in need, our mission as veterans is, as I was saying earlier, is to make the world a better place. It's deeply, deeply important to us. We both walked away from very successful careers because we'd lost friends to suicide. And we were told by one patient after we treated her dad, she said, he's night and day different. He is so wonderful to be around. And she kind of paused and said, my childhood would have been really different, and just kind of left it at that. And she had, for the first time in her life, she had a fully healthy, happy parent. His face was just glowing, always smiling. Like every time I'd see him, he's always smiling. And just imagine being able to just break a loved one out of that. And it is. And so that's the exciting thing, is from what we saw from our treatments, we changed lives. And whether it's working with us or with anybody else, it is a technology that will permanently improve someone's life. And it's also designed to permanently transition someone off of antidepressants.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I really love what you're doing, and this episode's gone on a little longer than we normally do, but your message is so important. I just wanted to keep it running.
Absolutely.
So if anyone has any more questions or wants to contact you directly, we're going to have a slide come up at the end of this. So we'll have all your contact information. And Ben, congratulations on what you're doing, your success so far. And I know you're just going to hit this one out of the park. And I just love it. Thanks for coming on.
Jay, thank you so much for your time and, being able to share what we're doing, and hopefully we can really help as many people as possible. But yeah, thank you for letting us share everything about this technology and our mission. This has been fantastic.
Great. And for everyone out there, if you like this podcast episode or some of the other ones we've done, be sure and share it with other people. We're on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, pretty much everywhere, Apple. So, just tune in Innovation Insights and get more of these great stories. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, everyone.